And there's you. And there's everybody else. You want to
We
say?
just finished a board meeting, so we gave Governor Hall a short break between meetings. But she's looking forward. Hi, Peter.
Peter got his mask.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
I love this. This is great, President Nancy.
Oh, good. I'm glad. You know what? This is what you can actually breathe through. Unlike some other masks I have, after 5 minutes, I can't breathe.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. Can I just make a mention? I'm sitting in front of my dentist office here. They're going to call me in a few minutes.
Okay.
So if I disappear.
We know why.
Yeah, they were kind enough to let me use their website.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, here comes Janice Lauer and Mark Logo.
Hey.
Hi again, Janice. Hi again, Mark.
So how's everything going?
Carol Rosenstein is here.
Our meeting hasn't started yet, right?
No.
Speak real loud.
We actually have to wait for our guest of honor. But I'm sure she'll be here in a moment. Because we were just with her.
I'm gonna wait.
Hey, Dick, your mask is upside down, Dick.
No kidding. Thank you very much. You think I would know better, wouldn't you?
I know you won't do it deliberately.
No.
Yeah, well, some people do it deliberately. We were just talking about that.
You know, it's
no, thank you.
Distressing.
Hi, Carol.
You know, it's hard to find the top side of a Union Jack.
Well, people hang the Union Jack upside down all the time.
Talk to him.
Yeah. But I shouldn't.
Very funny.
I didn't think they could see me.
Okay.
Well, you all look very good. I want to salute all of you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, and likewise.
Nancy, I'm going to send that video to Carolyn because she might find it pretty interesting.
Oh, yes, you should absolutely. It's very powerful and moving. I'll tell you what, maybe in our next week's club meeting, we'll screen it. How about that? Because it is only 4 minutes. We won't have time today, but I think that everybody would really enjoy seeing it.
Is our meeting live now?
No.
It is live. We're just waiting for Governor Hall to arrive and then we'll get started.
Okay.
So, and ask, is that all the people that we're going to see today? Is that the only people that are, Jim?
Probably.
There's 21 people there.
Oh, so
what, Marcia?
I was saying there's 21 people so far to Jim.
Now it's up to 23, and here comes Allie.
Coming on, Jim.
Hi.
louder, honey.
Good morning.
Hello, Jim Collins. Good to see you.
Oh, nice to be here.
Isn't that wonderful? We're so thrilled to have you.
That's great. I'm so glad.
Hey,
I can't tell you.
Good looking rotarian.
And somehow your flag mask, Jim, your flag mask and your t-shirt coordinate nicely. That's great. Hi, Allie.
Hi, Allie.
Hi, you guys. I'm so happy to see you.
Well, we're happy to see you too.
Big hugs to you guys.
Right back at you.
All of you so much this week.
Oh, that's.
I think I'll be glad when we go back to the faculty center.
Oh my gosh, is that Jim Collins? Did he make it to
Yes.
the internet?
Isn't that wonderful? Mark Rogo is our guardian angel, going around and setting up some of the members who have, who aren't familiar with Zoom on and showing them how to use it. So we're very thankful for that. Hi, Gordon. Who have I not said hello to yet? Bill Ron. Hi, Bill.
Okay. All right.
See that quiet, but they want you to talk.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Ask a question.
Has the
We'll
meeting-
get started in a minute.
And where's,
Okay,
We're just waiting for the district governor.
You're just supposed to talk to each other now.
okay.
Here she is now, so we'll get started now.
Okay, mask on, everyone.
yeah.
And here comes Sally. The gang's all here.
Okay.
Welcome, Governor Hall.
Good morning. Oh, good afternoon. Sorry.
Yes, it's easy to lose track of time, and welcome again, Sally. We are so honored to have you visit us, and we have more and more people joining us, and I'm sure there'll be a couple more people joining us as we go forward, but we will go ahead and get started. This meeting is now in order. Let me quick pull up the club presentation.
Forward to it.
Okay.
Is the district governor with us?
Yes, she is with us, and I am going to introduce her
Okay.
and her team. Governor Bette Hall, thank you again for joining us today. It's an honor, and I'm sure that my fellow members join me in saying that it's also really valuable I'm going to take this off now. It's also really valuable in times like these for us to get your perspective, to get a larger perspective. Oh, Allie, I'm loving the way you're wearing your hair. Okay, people are coming. I'm going to try this again because it somehow stopped sharing. So,
I see it fine.
those,
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm sorry?
I see it fine.
Okay, good. So for those of you who have not yet had the opportunity to get to know Governor Hall, I want to say, as someone who has had the privilege of participating in a number of her meetings, both as president-elect and now as president, I think we are truly fortunate to have someone of her experience, her wisdom, and true graciousness leading our district at such a challenging time. I would also like to introduce Sally Goya, who is the Senior Assistant Governor for Club Service for District 5280, and she is also the Club Treasurer for the Calabasas Rotary Club. I don't know how you do both of those roles at the same time. My hat's off to you. And also Janice, is it Lowers? Am I pronouncing that correctly, Janice?
Yes, Lowers.
Okay, good. I should have checked before. But I hate to mangle people's names. Janice is the Chief of Staff to the District Governor. She's also the past president of the Burbank Sunrise Club and a retired police captain. So I want to hear more about that. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're very happy to have you with us today. This
Are you going to keep us out of trouble?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to keep us out of trouble?
Yeah, hope so. Yeah, this is a pretty rowdy group.
No, actually,
I'm saying that facetiously, obviously.
actually with Janice is more liable to lead us into trouble. So you have fun.
Precisely.
Oh, I definitely want to hear about that. And this is a quick view of our agenda for this meeting. And Aaron Donahue, would you please lead us in the pledge?
You bet. And look, I unmuted this time.
I have my wife Carol with me.
Hi, everyone. So with our district governor here, we got to stand and salute and take yourself off mute and be as loud as you can, just so I don't have to hear my own voice. So whatever you put your hand over your heart or wherever you like it most, here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America,
and to the
and to the
republic
republic
for which it stands, one nation,
nation, under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty
with liberty and justice.
Thank you, Aaron.
Is the YMCA open, Darren?
in some form, but it's not the same. And it's not the same without you either.
Okay, well, I'm not going to go then.
Not yet, not yet. He'll let you know when it's time. Steve Scherer, would you share the invocation for today with us?
I'd be pleased to do that, President.
Thank you.
Service above self is at the heart of who we are as Rotarians. And on Saturday, as many of us know, we lost Don Nelson, who was a great Rotarian and one of the great models for service above self.
Yes.
And Don's Rotary career began at LA5, and he was a key player at LA5. And when he retired, he came to Westwood Village Rotary Club, and he became our president in 2005 through 6. And he was Rotarian of the year before that in 03 to 04. And he rendered continuous service from the time of his retirement up until the time he was 92 to 93 and died at 93. And so if there was ever a time when we needed people like Don Nelson, Rotarians who believe in service above self, it's now. Seems like everywhere we look, we see turmoil. On a global level, we see a pandemic and we see big countries that can't get along together. On the national level, we have Black Lives Matter issues in the streets, and we have political rancor throughout our political system. On a state level, we have governors trying to decide whether to shut businesses down or let businesses go forward. We have school children who are doing digital learning and not being able to be taught in classrooms as well. Difficult issues. And then on a family level, we have people who are suffering from isolation of community activity. And we have some people whose livelihoods are threatened and in disarray. And so today, as Rotarians, we pray for peace. Peace in the world, peace in our country, peace in our state, peace within our families, and peace in our hearts. And thanks be to God for the life of Don Nelson. Amen.
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 You're here.
Thank you, Steve.
Very nice.
Steve,
That was very powerful.
It was beautiful. And I just want to say to the club, I am so very sorry for your loss. And thank you for those beautiful words, Steve. Thank you.
Certainly agree. Mark, would you share a Rotary aha moment with us? I'm not seeing Mark. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Are you on mute? Mark, I think you're muted.
I'm on mute.
Hi, Dwight.
Hello there. Are you Gordo?
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Now, yes.
Okay. You know, for those of us in Rotary, we consider ourselves very lucky in a variety of ways, particularly if you're able to experience one of those aha moments. And I have had the blessing of having several, but the one that sticks out the most is on one of these humanitarian trips. We had traveled 2.5 hours to some outlying village of 4,000 people, and we had brought a container full of clothes and backpacks and school supplies and shoes and clothing for the kids. And people had learned about it and had lined up in the village square 2 days ahead of time to be able to get stuff for their children. And as I sat there, we each had an opportunity to give some clothing to the children. I had mine. But as I sat there watching the whole process unfold and looking around, a woman came up to me to thank me. Now, I can't speak Spanish and she can't speak English, but we had a perfectly understandable conversation. She had a baby in her arms, and as she said to me, she was crying, not because her 7-year-old was over there to get shoes, but it's because that he will get shoes. He can give his shoes to the 5-year-old, and for the first time, her 5-year-old will be able to wear shoes. Now, if that doesn't move you, I don't know what kind of blood is flowing through your veins, but that was my most memorable. It brought me to tears. I couldn't believe the blessing that we had brought to an entire village of 4,000 people, and how lucky we all were, not only to be Rotarians, but to be there and to be involved in something as wonderful as this, changing people's lives in the simplest of ways. That was my great aha moment.
Thank you, Mark. That was perfect. And now our songmeister, Ed Gold, who, so I'm laughing at Allie. I'm not laughing at Ed. Let me be clear about that. Ed, I'm not seeing you. Now, Governor Hall, I'm going to warn you, we are not very good. But I'm thinking if we get enough practice for a whole year, we might actually be on the same tune for an entire stanza. So with that, Ed, would you like to lead us in singing America?
I shall. This is not the first time I've been laughed at, so I'm not worried about that. I was not aware that Don Nelson had passed away on Saturday. He was a giant of a Rotarian. And, you know, he was very helpful when I was president in 09-10. My heart goes out to his family. I was not aware of it. It was an email sent out to Rotarians?
It was a special edition of the Windmill that went out to everybody on Sunday.
Oh, on Sunday. Oh, okay. I don't even recall, but I'll have to look through my emails. But anyway, we're going to sing in perfect harmony and unison, America, which everybody probably started first singing when they were 2 years old. And here it goes. My country is the
and where my fathers died,
land of the
pilgrims tried,
I just had an insight because we were definitely worse. We are definitely much worse virtually than we are when we're in the room. And when we're in the same room, Ed is kind of conducting us. But here we're each sitting in a room alone, singing by ourselves, and that's not as effective. But we'll have to work on this. But I didn't want to spare you the experience, shall we say?
Well, yes, Nancy, let me make a comment. you know, I do a lot of singing, and it's evident that many of the Rotarians don't do a lot of singing. One of the problems is they rush the song. And I'm doing it at a measured cadence, which is what is normally done when you sing this piece. and I get through the first line and somebody is on the third line already. I would ask, then
I think you're right.
No, but I will get off the horn. But next time, please don't rush the song. That's not the way we're not reading a book and something like that. And
well,
that's
we'll
all
have
I
to
have.
work on that.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay, here we go.
Ed's a good sport. Ed's a good sport. It's one of the reasons that he was made Rotarian of the Month last month. And next we have visiting Rotarians. Our Assistant Governor, Michael Lushing, is with us today. Thank you for joining us, Michael. It's always a pleasure to see you. And am I missing anybody? I'm not seeing other Rotarians that we haven't yet introduced. So we can move along.
I hope so.
The Paul Harris Fellow portion of the meeting. Bette, is this something that you wanted to do, or would you like Steve to do it? You're on mute, sorry.
Yeah.
We're not into lip reading, Bette.
What happens is I'm unmuting and Nancy is trying to unmute me, which ends up with her muting me. So we weren't in sync.
So leave it to you to handle.
Steve, yeah, that was funny because every time I unmuted, I was muted again. I believe you have several that want to.
Yes.
So would you like to read the names, and then I have a few words I'd love to say. So let's work it together.
Right.
Sean.
Okay.
So
I will ask Steve to speak, list the names of our new honorees.
Okay, I'd be happy to. We have actually 5 individuals who are being designated as Paul Harris Fellows. I believe, I just checked, and I think 3 of the 5 are on the Zoom right now.
That's wonderful.
And we have Aaron Donahue. And Aaron, as we all know, is the director, executive director of the Calling Cats West Side YMCA. And we have Carol Rosenstein. Carol is runs Music Men's Minds, and a wonderful organization. And maybe the two can share a little bit about that if there's time. Why it kind of speaks for itself, but Music Men's Minds is a wonderful organization. And also we have Sashiro Kubaniwa, who we call Sho. Aaron and Carol are being designated by the club. We used our recognition points to make them both Paul Harris Fellows due to their service to our community. And so we're very proud as club members to be able to make these 2 members. Our 3rd member, who is a rabbi, Rabbi Esther Leon Schwartz, I don't believe is on the Zoom, but Rabbi Schwartz is very active in the Jewish community here in Los Angeles. And our 5th member is somebody who also is involved in community service as the executive director of Meals on Wheels, the local chapter, and that's Ellen Horwitz. I don't believe Ellen's on the call though. So District Governor Hall, those are our 5 designees for Paul Harris Fellow status. And again, Aaron, Carol, and Sho are on the Zoom.
And those new awards now make Westwood Village Rotary Club a 100% Paul Harris Club as of today.
Well, I truly congratulate you on being 100% Paul Harris. And to those who have just received their Paul Harris Fellows, I want to say thank you. And because of your generosity, participation, a world of peace and goodwill comes just that little bit closer today. A child drinks clean water. children continue to further their education. And it's all because of you as you receive your Paul Harris Awards. Thank you for the giving, for the support of the Rotary Foundation. It is because of gifts such as this that the Rotary Foundation is able to carry out its many, many programs that achieve changes beneficial to so many others in this world, and that we can continue to help those in need. So it's many, many thanks go out to you, and many congratulations becoming a 100% Paul Harris Club. That's a big achievement, and thank you.
Good
job, Becky.
Yes, wonderful.
Nancy?
Yes.
Yeah, just so to the recipients, I'll be mailing you your Paul Harris Fellow certificates and your Paul Harris Fellow pin.
Wonderful.
Nancy, I believe you have an image there, or am I misspeaking of the certificates themselves?
You know what? If you, I
you
do.
don't-
I'm sorry, I didn't pull them up.
Oh, okay.
I can find them. I can find
Oh,
them
no.
before we finish.
Yeah, I was just gonna. I don't have one with me in front of me, but I was just gonna, share what their certificate says. But that's okay.
I promised to do that before the end of the meeting. How about that? I apologize. I should.
No, that's okay. No worries.
I should have had that handy.
Okay.
What I do have handy is our next subject, the next item on the agenda, which is the Rotarian of the Month Award.
Nancy?
Yes, Gordon.
Before we leave this, and I'm sure this occurred to Steve as well, once you're 100% Paul Harris Club, you're 100% Paul Harris Club, correct, Steve?
Correct. That is correct, Gordon. Once you're, yeah.
We achieved this years ago, and for some reason the records were lost, and so we achieved this several years ago, I think when Mark was president. So we have been a 100% Paul Harris Club for some time. Just wanted everybody to remind
Okay,
everybody.
well, good to know.
Okay.
So even if your membership changes, you would still be counted a Paul Harris Club.
Right. What's different today is now that all our members are Paul Harris Fellows.
We're legit.
40,
we're legit.
40, yeah,
We're
whoa,
legit. You're saying
super
we're
legit.
legit.
Super legit.
There is another portion to that, and that's a sustaining Paul Harris.
Right. Thank you.
100% Paul Harris. So you're probably in that category. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good distinction. One of the real pleasures of this role for me is having the opportunity to celebrate our members. And each month we honor a member who contributes to the vitality of our club. And this month it seems especially fitting to honor our foundation chair, Steve Day.
Thank you.
Who is it?
Passionate.
Thank
From the time I started getting to know you, I have been deeply impressed with your commitment and passion for the work of the foundation. You are someone who could be Rotarian of any month, honestly. But this month with Governor Hall here and all of the new Paul Harris Fellows that are joining us seem like an ideal time. So congratulations. Your certificate I do have. Now this is the drawback with the background, and I almost got rid of it. So you can't see very well when I'm holding something, but I will be mailing this to you with your pin. So thank you for all that you do, and congratulations. And by the way, just so that people know, these aren't just arbitrary or completely subjective. I'm always talking to different members of the club about who they would like to see honored. And it's very unofficial. So I just want you to know that you have a lot of support and respect within our club.
Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You are so welcome, and I thank you. Announcements. The first one is the hardest. We've already talked about Don. Don was a dedicated and cherished member of this club for 47 years, which is a pretty staggering amount. As Steve mentioned, he was Rotarian of the Year in 2003. He was president of the club in 2005, 2006. He was a Paul Harris Fellow, a multiple contributor to the Paul Harris Society, a benefactor, a John Sandman Fellow, a major donor, someone who has, to me, represents the very best of Rotary traditions. And he and Roz were married for 71 years. So clearly this is a man who understood commitment. And I didn't have the opportunity to know Don as well or for as long as many of you did, but I just really so honored by the brief acquaintance that I did have with him, and we were so fortunate to have him, and we'll always remember him, and his many accomplishments will be remembered for a long time. We pray for Roz at this very difficult time. I haven't heard yet about plans for memorial service, but we'll get the word out as soon as we do. Some of us have talked about possibly doing something in the nature of I'm going to call it an Irish wake to honor his memory, but we're going to wait to see what the family's plans are. There's so much to celebrate about this man's life. Yeah. So I know we'll be talking about him, far into the future. So, God bless Don and Roz both. And then on a happy note, we have to honor, we're thrilled to honor our member Carol, who was also now a Paul Harris Fellow, because she's been nominated for a 2020 Women's Leadership Award by the Los Angeles Business Journal for her groundbreaking work with Music Men's Minds. And we're just thrilled for you and so proud of you, Carol. Many, many kudos to you. The winners will be announced on August 19th in the Los Angeles Business Journal, and the award ceremony will be held a couple of days later. So as we get more information, we'll share that. But again, we didn't want to wait to congratulate you. This is a very well-deserved honor. And then I just want to touch on a couple of pressing pieces of district news. Disaster relief needs are still very much with us. And we've talked about this before, we'll talk about it again. But the Rotary District 5280 Disaster Relief Committee wasted no time in going into action, which is deeply impressive. And by the way, one thing I want to say, not only about this committee, but about Rotary, when you get money, just I'll call on somebody, whoever it was in a moment. When you give money through Rotary, you know what's going to happen with that money. You know that it's going to be handled with integrity. I am reading about more and more disaster fundraising scams where people are being asked to give and they think that the money is going to a good purpose and it's going to a scam artist. You don't have to worry about that with Rotary. You know not only exactly where it's going, but you know it's going to be well managed. Did somebody have a comment or question? I thought I heard a voice. So, okay, so both California wildfires, enormous relief will be needed, and for an extended period of time, you can make donations by check or by credit card. So again, we will be talking about this again in the future. Also the literacy breakfast, because it's coming up next week, I wanted to be sure to mention it again. You can sign up on the District 5280 website. And now I would like to turn our program over to our distinguished district governor. I'm going to make you the host because
there's no need to do that. I don't need that.
Okay.
You can hold it. I don't have.
The host pays for lunch.
Oh, give it back to Nancy.
Actually, it's the other way around.
Well.
Hi, Betty.
Hi, I don't know who said hi, but thank you for that. Are you ready for me to go ahead?
Yes, yes, go right ahead.
Well, first of all, I truly am saying thank you to you all for the very warm welcome. I love the masks. They're so much fun. And I think, I'm not sure whose idea that was, but they're wonderful. And I'm so impressed by everything I've been hearing with this club today. In truth, I am a little sad. I'm not there with you all in person, but very, very grateful for all the support of all the clubs around the district. Jane, very supportive, very creative, and a lot of fun. So, and I've listened and heard to all of the wonderful things that you are doing, and you're a very impressive club. When I'm looking at the money that you donate to purchase a new van for the Westwood Transitional Village, which is a homeless center, and there's so much need for this right now. It's an incredibly difficult time. The funds for the international school in Israel, the money also to working with raising up leaders for the peace program. Again, such a needed program. We truly are in difficult times. The funding to the YMCA for programs such as Parkinson's and for food for the low-income families. We have so many families that are hungry right now. Those donations are so very needed. Physical education for students and assistance to that very much needed programs, the Meals on Wheels. And I was listening and hearing also about aid towards the homeless students. We have so many students that actually live in their cars while trying to go to school to get a better lives for themselves. And Carol, that Music Men's Minds is a wonderful program, and I really congratulate you all. I also know I am preaching to the choir with everyone here when I talk about what an amazing district we do have. Even during such challenging times with the pandemic, social justice issues, and many other disasters out there, we're seeing our members out and about daily, meeting the needs and doing so very much do-goodery in our communities, whether it's providing that very much needed PPE to our essential workers, food to our seniors who are confined and cannot leave their homes, gathering their prescriptions, very much needed work. Also, meals, again to our essential workers, to our fire service, to our police service, to say thank you, to recognize all they are doing. Books to children, where there's a need, our district, our members are filling it. And when I think about our district's response to the plea for assistance to Camp Pendleton. The response was overwhelming. I'm sure some of you have heard that we originally sent down 4 truckloads of everything from the very much needed baby items, furniture, diapers enough to fill a store, and regular furniture. And when you hear the wife of a Marine whose family, they've just returned from a tour in Japan, say to you, thank you. Because of you, my children have a bed to sleep in tonight. They're not going to sleep on the floor. That tells you of the need we are filling. Those warrior warehouses were full to bursting. And I think I was bursting with as much pride in our district. And of course, kudos does have to go to David Hensler, who spearheaded, along with Jim Michelli, and an incredible team of people. We keep getting asked, when are you doing this again? We missed it last time. Well, the delivery date will be October 25th, when the items will be shipped down there. As I say, we started off with 4 full truckloads. Then we sent a 5th truckload down. And I keep receiving emails that the donations still keep coming. And I'm so proud of this district and everything we do. We did get the news yesterday that the October 31st picnic will still be on down there because you're able to mask and social distance. There's so much space. So, yes, something to look forward to, right? Someone the other day asked me, Bette, what are your favorite things in Rotary? And I really had to stop and think, because there's so much in Rotary that I absolutely love. Working with our youth, way, way up there. That is a joy. But I thought about all the other things, the events, the projects, the camaraderie, the opportunities to give back, friends, the friendships created over the years. But one thing really stood out, and I think it's the travel, the opportunities to travel with Rotarians, whether it's to the international conventions, but especially those humanitarian trips. And you heard Mark Rogo talk about it a few moments ago. And I want to tell you a few tales about humanitarian trips. The first I'm going to talk about is a tale of courage and perseverance. While we were on a humanitarian trip to Peru, we completed many projects that touched our hearts, and yes, tears fell at times. But there was a project I personally was dreading. It was a visit to a burn unit where we donated the compression suits needed to treat severe burns. I entered with great trepidation because I have a deep-seated fear and horror of burns. Was I going to be able to handle what I saw? And then we met Ruth, and Ruth shared her story with us. She told us how she was cooking in her jungle home, and the stove exploded. She suffered severe burns and was taken to the nearest medical facility in Trujillo. They couldn't treat her there, so they sent her to the burn unit in Lima. I had just flown the day before from Lima to Trujillo to complete a project and flew back again. So I asked the question, oh, so they flew her there? No was the answer. They drove her. I could only imagine the agony she must have suffered on that at least 9-hour drive. Sometimes over rough terrain. Her tale of sadness continued. Her husband left her because of the way she looked. Her 3 children, scared of her, would not come visit. Despair set in, but with the assistance of the dedicated staff, and believe me, they were dedicated, she persevered. Numerous surgeries later, her children came to live with her, accepting her new looks. She'd never looked the same, but her courage was remarkable. Ruth was working part-time and also trying to give back to the burn unit that had helped her so very much. And all the while trying to save, to purchase equipment, to set up her own catering business. Well, you've probably all guessed, by the time we left that visit, Ruth not only had the money needed to start her own business and more, but she also had the admiration of all of us. There are many projects, many people we have helped, such as Ruth, over the years. And some that come to mind are the young autistic girl living with her parents in such squalor in a Colombian displaced persons camp. She spent pretty much all of her time curled in a fetal position, non-communicative. And then the magic happened. Her family received the key to a brand new home. A very simple home by our standards, but a brand new home. And there she was, this young girl, dragging Rotarians by the hand from room to room, smiling, laughing, dancing, and sharing her happiness with us all. The young boy who wrapped his arms around the leg of our very own Rotarian, Jonathan Harmon. And for those of you who know Jonathan, that was a stretch for the little boy. But this was after Jonathan and fellow Rotarian, Leon Nixon, had spent back-breaking days clearing broken glass, rubble, all sorts of debris from a schoolyard and building a beautiful new playground in Merida. Gracias, Senor, said that little boy. Now we have somewhere to play. Needless to say, those 2 big men, and they're big men, were in tears, crying like babies. The pickers in Oaxaca, living in such appalling conditions, so grateful for anything offered to make their lives just a little bit better. Rotary Foundation trustee Brenda Cressy uses as one of her aha moments a humanitarian trip she joined 5280 on. And yes, there it was, the photo of this event that moved her so much. The man who was classified as a crawler because that's the only way he could get around. The man who just received a new wheelchair, raising his arms in gratitude and beaming with joy. This photo was on the screen at the International Convention in Toronto for all the world to see, with no less than our own PDG, Elsa Gillam, standing behind that man. It was impressive to see this highlighted, selected, and shown at the International Convention. I'm not sure everybody knows, but we are unique in the world of Rotary, as we are the only district in the world that does a district humanitarian trip. And this is what we as a district want to keep doing. We want to be able to still keep doing the do-goodery in other countries. We want our members to receive their aha moments, to be able to share incredible times. But in order to do this, we do have to keep replenishing our coffers, because we rely on the funds that we receive, our DDF, district designated funds, to be able to do all of these things. So 50% of what we donate this year comes back to us in 3 years. And this is the money we use for our district grants, global grants, and for our humanitarian trips. And I know the 2021 club presidents are aware, because I've been telling them a lot, that our funding has dropped significantly over the last few years. And with the Rotary Foundation cutting back on matching grants, this is why we need all of us as Rotarians to make the Rotary Foundation our charity of choice. And for those of you wondering, yes, we're still planning on going to Costa Rica for a humanitarian trip. We have a marvelous team working on it, and we're fingers crossed. I said today, I think we need a badge of that. Fingers crossed that things will happen. Even though we're not able to physically hold us foundation celebration this year, much to our sadness, we are going to be doing a virtual online celebration. And we're working extremely hard to make that a lot of fun. We're also going to be holding our online silent auction, which will start about 2 weeks before the date, which is November 7th. So we are asking all clubs, please donate us a gift that we can put on that silent auction. We still have our opportunity drawing tickets. They are also in a different format this year. They're online, but trust me, so much easier to fill in, because you put your name in once and it populates how many you want. So I'm encouraging everybody to do this. Also, if you were able to attend the recent district breakfast, you heard an incredible speaker. His name was Craig Needham, and he spoke about how he was raised by a mother in an iron lung. He talked about how vivacious she was, how vibrant, before she contracted polio and spent the rest of her life in an iron lung. Every time I've heard his story, and it's been about 4 times now, it's reduced me to tears. But it strengthens the resolve why we must continue the fight to end polio until it is finally gone. It's still left in 2 countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. That's 2 countries too many. Nigeria and the whole of Africa has now been declared polio-free. Our foundation committee is planning a really fun event to raise money for the polio fund. And it's asking you to go out, get sponsors, but just get together as a club in an event. It could be anything you want to do. I heard of one club that are actually selling squares for a polio bingo game, another one doing Zumba, some running, cycling, dancing, karaoke, whatever they want to do, they are doing it. And it's pulling the clubs together. And yeah, there are some prizes. As for other events, well, the picnic went the way of every other event. We couldn't hold it this year, but we'll try to do something next year. District conference is still on the books. Again, the fingers crossed for May next year. And that's going to be held at the beautiful, oh gosh, the name of it, Mandalay Bay Resorts. It just left my head. But that will be in May. And it's a beautiful place. You can walk right out on the beach in Oxnard. The one thing, and you always got to look, silver linings are everywhere. And if we're given lemons, we got to make lemonade. Actually, our training has been benefiting from having everything on Zoom. And we've been doing trainings pretty much every week. And this weekend, there'll be one on Zoom because we all know the Zoom meetings can be very interesting. So we're going to have one on Zooms and how to work them. So to conclude, our main concentrations for 2021 are increasing our foundation contributions, on growing our district. And as strange as that may seem, we are actually seeing a growth in clubs, much to my surprise too. We've just got one new satellite club. We have 3 more in the works. We have a core space club well on its way and just trying to reach that magic number of new members. And the other big thing we're asking, and I think this club is doing a good job of that, but I'm asking every club to look around your Zoom meetings. Look for the people who are missing and make sure you're reaching out to them to make sure they feel included. This is a time of great loneliness as well as fear. And some of our older members do need assistance with groceries, with prescriptions, or some other need. And it's up to us as clubs to try to keep them in the loop. My own club just managed to get our 2 oldest members onto Zoom, and they're ecstatic. They are so happy to be able to see their fellow members each week. So I thank you to this club for all you're doing. You're doing an amazing job. I feel the warmth. I feel the friendship between you all. And I congratulate you on everything you're doing. A wonderful leader in Nancy, President Nancy. And I know so many of you through district events. And I just want to say a really big thank you. And back to you, President Nancy.
Betty, what's your home club?
Calabasas.
Thank you.
We're way out there.
Okay.
Nancy, now you're muted.
You're on mute, Nancy.
Thank you. I don't know how that happened. Governor Hall, we have 3 awards that you were planning to give, and I have them with me.
Good. So, we've been having some fun in the district this year with the do-goodery pins that we've been giving. And people ask me where it came from. it actually came from a young voter actor in Hamburg convention who leapt onto the stage with more energy that I've ever seen. And this was his catchphrase. So I reached out, asked permission to use it, and he was ecstatic. So we've got our Do-Goodery Awards. So do you want to help?
If you want to announce them, I'll hold up the certificate. How's that?
Okay, well, let's start with one. And this is Janice's creativity. So I really thank Janice for all she was doing.
And which award are we going to do first?
Let's do the Fresh Face in Rotary Award.
Okay, I'll echo that.
This one actually goes to the newest member who is the most active doing Do-Goodery. And this one goes to Aaron Donahue. So Aaron, many congratulations.
I will be sending this to you, Aaron.
Along with your Do-Goodery pin.
Nancy, hold that up again.
The pin? Oh,
that's right. You're doing screenshots. God bless you.
Oh, wow.
Hey. A little that way. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Okay. Thank you, Marcia.
And these pins have become the hot commodity in the district. Everybody wants them. So.
Okay, and the next award goes to?
This goes to the Do-Goodery Award. And in gratitude for your outstanding service. And this should not be a surprise, but it goes to a certain gentleman that I spent time in Oaxaca climbing up hills, etc. Mark Rogo.
So well deserved. Absolutely. Mark, you're on mute. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Bette. That's Governor. That's very thoughtful of you. Appreciate it. But
and I'll be sending this to you, Mark.
Thank you.
And the last one is, it's a recognition for the person still doing Do-Goodery after all these years. And this one's being presented to Jim Collins. And so happy to see you here, Jim.
Congratulations, Jim.
Say thank you.
Hey, thank you.
We're especially thrilled to have you with us today.
Good job, whippersnapper.
And speaking of Do-Goodery, Mark made it possible.
How long it's been?
I'm sorry, Jim, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, since 1953. Been a while.
That's a long time.
Having a good time.
Still looking good, Jim. Way to go.
Yes, we are so honored. And then the last I want to say recognition is for Governor Hall. That in thank you for your service and your visit, this club is making a donation of $1,000 in your name to Rotary International to the annual fund.
Oh,
thank you so much.
And we thank you for your leadership.
Yep, thank you.
Clubs like this make life very easy, and you're a great club, and it's my pleasure and certainly my honor to be the district governor of this club. Thank you, of this district. Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us. Are there any last questions or last comments that anybody has for the group?
Nancy?
Yes.
Nancy, oops, I'll get off of mute. I just wanted everybody to know, since you hadn't heard about Don situation, I want you to know that Don Parks is currently in the ICU. We don't know what happened, but he has a brain bleed. So just keep him in your prayers, thoughts and prayers, please.
Thank you,
Don
Diane.
Parks. Sure.
Who was that? Who was that?
Don Park.
Don Park.
Oh, Don Park. Okay.
Ron forwarded me an email saying they determined it was caused by the medication he was on. And that he is conscious. And I'm glad you said that. I apologize. I meant to bring him up and ask for prayer. So I'm so thankful, Diane, that you did.
What hospital is he in? What hospital?
That
He's in Cedars.
Oh, okay.
If I could, Nancy, I'd like to make one comment about Don Nelson. I first met him in 1964 when I joined the firm of Haskins and Sells, now Deloitte. And he was one of the most respected partners at that time and a good friend. And he sponsored me, so I'll remember him well.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that too. I met Don in 1975, and he gave me a job offer, but I didn't take it. I'm sort of sorry I didn't.
When did you meet Don Nelson? About what year?
Oh, 1945.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. I met
They're classmates.
when we were at UCLA together. Yeah. Don Nelson went to UCLA with me. Yeah.
1945.
What a class. That was a great class at UCLA, obviously.
What? Oh, yeah. We had a good time and a good football team.
And Don was on it.
That's right.
Jim Collins, can you move your camera over so we can see Carol also?
We'll get to move in. They want to see you, Carol.
Oh,
just move in.
There we are.
There we go.
Yeah.
Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Very nice. Very
You look
fun.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're happy to see you.
Keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah, I try. I try.
And we are, as I said, going to plan a get together in virtual or not, depending on the club's preferences in Don's honor. We just wanted to hear what the family's plans for first.
Yeah. Good. We'll wait till we hear from you.
Thank you all for being here, but most of all, thank you, Governor Hall and Janice and Sally. It's been such an interesting and enjoyable time together. And we look forward to seeing you again.
She's there. I can't see it.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you
a
so
great,
much.
great day, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you, Betty.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Nancy?
Yes.
Masks.
Mention next, we have Dr. John McNeil, who is a good friend I've known for a long time, but he was the executive officer when we landed at Omaha Beach.
Oh my goodness.
In
Yes.
1944. And such an interesting guy with such a great career. He's still a professor teaching education in the graduate part of the education department. He'll be 101 next month.
Wow.
And this is just a great opportunity to hear a great story, because I've spent a lot of time with this guy. And he's really special.
I'm sure that's true, and I'm going to defer to our programming chair because I know that Tom has mapped out programs for some period of time, and I don't want to step on those plans, so I'm going to ask that Tom be the one to consider. Is that fair, Tom?
Well, next week, John's going to be there, and Bill Rowan will introduce him.
Oh, he will be there. Is he already on our calendar? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's there.
He's on the calendar.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't have it in front of me, so my apologies. Well, good. We'll look forward to that. He sounds like
a real opportunity.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's tremendous. I'm glad that you introduced.
Very, very interesting. Yeah.
Thanks for your hard work.
Great. It was great to see you all, as always.
Thank you.
Have a great week. See you next week.
Marsha, the envelope is on its way.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Thank you, Marsha. Sorry for the delay.
Great job, Nancy.
Thank you. Thank you all for participating and making this a great meeting.
Thank you, Nancy.
Have a good week.